Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, T-Bone, from the Lunds B Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew. It's Friday night. It's 6 o'clock. It's time for the WARNO. The WARNO comes to you every Friday night. We tell you about things happening in and around the greater Harrisburg metropolitan area, usually comedy-related. As Mr. Rogers grabs his sweater, T-Bone grabs his beer. Every week we have beers donated to us by friends, families, and listeners. We try to try something different and new each week. Sometimes we duplicate. We've been doing this a while, so if we double up, you know what? Fresh perspective. Maybe I had a beer donated to me. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Maybe I had a beer donated to me that the first time I tried it, maybe I didn't like it so much. And then like a second date with a girl you never expect to have a second date with, maybe the second date goes a lot better. So we're going to try to do a new beer every week. But if we double up, it's okay. With the exception of the old school favorites, unless, if I know the beer, I know the beer, okay? If this is a Peroni Nastro Azzurro, I'm not going to rate it. I'm not going to rank it. I'm not going to tell you how it tastes, how it makes me feel, because it's a Peroni Nastro Azzurro, and anybody who's been with me more than 2 seconds knows exactly how I feel like that. How about that? This one comes to us from our friends at the Attempted Delivery podcast. Attempted Delivery, hosted by our friends Sean Dickensheets and Damianopoulos. They donated 4 beers for their show, of which I only drank 1, and I brought 3 back, and I used them in this segment. So here we are. This is a Mothman double IPA. I don't know what a double IPA is. I know what an IPA is, an Indian Pale Ale. And if this was a double Indian Pale Ale, I would imagine it would be a little darker. It is a 9.1% ABV, alcohol by volume, and it's brewed right around the corner in little old Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. So that's what we do. The WARNO lasts the length of 1 beer. This is our timer. I am not, as Andrew, not that Andrew will tell you, I am not a fan of citrus. Zeus, hello. I'm not a fan of citrus flavored beer, specifically ones that give off grapefruit taste. But apparently all of the IPAs have a grapefruit flavor and a grapefruit color and a grapefruit taste. I'm not supposed to be eating grapefruit, but technically, I'm not eating grapefruit. Let's get the timer started, and then we'll talk about what's happening. The thing is, hundreds, thousands, billions of years ago, when man invented beer, we invented a product that was tasty and delicious and was healthy. We drank the beer because the water would kill you. And over time, we've evolved into these things that are they're like fruit drinks. And this is not, it's not a sipping beer, although at 9.1% alcohol by volume, it probably should be. It is, I feel like I'm going to touch some things because things need to be touched. Okay. My Facebook feed's all jacked. My TikTok feed is too far away for me to read. And I've touched the button, so that'll last a little bit longer. Yeah. I'm not getting anything over there. And then I broke it. I can't tell you how frustrated I get. Okay. I just haven't got any comments yet, which is unusual. But at this point, usually somebody's telling me that IPAs are the greatest and they're the most wonderfulest. And I would call that a blonde. Would that be a blonde? If I were with my friends in the hash, we would drink a lot of that. Because when you're hashing, the quality of the beer really doesn't matter. You got the green cans and the gold cans and the blue cans and foreign words on them. And inside them is tasty and delicious beer. And that is why we run. Okay, let's get things started and let's remind you what's going on. The WARNO comes to you every Friday night at 6 o'clock, and we tell you about things happening in and around the greater Harrisburg metropolitan area. The greater Harrisburg metropolitan area is defined by the casino triangle that I live in the center of. The casino of Grantville, Shippensburg, triangle. Triangle, I can do this. Triangle. Shippensburg, Grantville, York. I live in the center of the Bermuda Triangle, or the Casino Triangle. And we try to keep the events going on that are happening in and around those areas. You're just going to have to wait, dude. You could have left when you had a chance, but I'm not moving that light for you. There is comedy going on at the Parks Casino tonight in Shippensburg. The Parks Casino, the former Lowe's complex. It's Gemini, the ventriloquist. It's free to get in. Seating starts at 7. The show starts at 8. I don't really have a lot of information on it, so I'm not going to really give you a lot of effort. What I can tell you, a place that there is a lot of effort in, because as soon as I finish this, I'm going to take my dog out, and then I'm going out. I'm going out to 30 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, to the Revolutionary Hot Sauce Eatery and Brew Pub. I did all that without looking at my notes. I have been screwing up Eatery and Brew Pub for months now, because on the first Friday of every month, our friend Craig Paul hosts a comedy show at the Revolutionary Hot Sauce Eatery and Pub Grill. Shit! He hosts his comedy show there. And some of the comedians that he brings are people I really like. And tonight, no exception. The wonderful and talented Mr. Michael, the wonderful, talented, and friendly Mr. Michael Donnell will be there, along with Caitlin Austin. Caitlin Austin, the very funny and beautiful Caitlin Austin, and the very funny and beautiful Sean Dickensheets. That's the crew tonight. Sean Dickensheets, Caitlin Austin, Mike O'Donnell, and Craig Paul as your host. That's tonight, Revolutionary Hot Sauce Eatery and Brew Pub, located at 30 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg. It costs us $10 at the door, and the show starts around 7-ish. Things start warming up around 7-ish. I like things that start on time, or at least flyers that say the time the thing's going to start. That never seems to happen anymore. 7-ish. If you want to spend a little bit more money and you want to go in a different direction, there's always the Harrisburg Comedy Zone, located at 110 Lime Kiln Road, conveniently off the Interstate 83 exit, inside the Boomerangs Hotel, Sports Casino, Lounge, Racetrack, and jet ski rental. They do so many things inside Boomerangs. I try to add a new task to them every week. Boomerangs is a fantastic establishment. It's got food and drink and people and DJs and dance floors and conference rooms and hotel rooms. It's a great facility. But also inside Boomerangs is the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. Yes, doop-be-doop, boop, boop. If you're chatting with me, I'm just not seeing any chats. So it feels unusual. It feels like I should be seeing some chats. Let me touch this button so the camera doesn't turn off. And again, if you're talking to me on TikTok, you're too far away for me to see. Boomerang, hotel, casino, spots, resort, blah, blah, blah. Boomerangs, 110 Lime Kiln Road, Harrisburg Comedy Zone. Inside the Harrisburg Comedy Zone this weekend, we have Jay Bliss is going to be there with Jennifer Espenshades. Now, if Jay Bliss is your headliner and Jennifer Espenshades as your feature isn't enough to get you going, our friend Lennon Free is going to be your host. He's the guy that warms up all the laugh muscles before he brings on the feature and comes back to bring on the headliner. Our friend Lennon Free, the feature Jennifer Espenshades, and the headliner Jay Bliss. Tickets are $20, cold cash money at the door. And if you forget the money, if you forget cold cash money, there's other ways to get in. You go to the cash machine, ATM machine. It's over by the claw machine, which, by the way, they fixed. So go to the ATM machine next to the working claw machine and get some cold cash money. Go back to the door, pay your money, get inside. $20 at the door. Now, if this is a regularly scheduled show, so if you've been giving blood regularly to the Central Pennsylvania Blood Bank, they will give you 2 free tickets to regular admission to any of the standard shows at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. So think about that not only can you save some lives by giving blood, you can get free tickets to the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. I turned that off. Why is that turning on? Pablo is watching. And everything is better. I can see Pablo is there. As long as Pablo is there and Stacy is there, life is good. Time to take a sip. All right, so that's what we got for your Friday night. The Revolutionary Hot Sauce Eatery and Brew Pub, 30 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg. Mike O'Donnell, Caitlin Austin, Sean Dickens Sheets, and Craig Paul. Boom. 110 Lime Kiln Road, Harrisburg Comedy Zone. Doors open at 7:45. Show starts at 8:15. Lennon Free, Jennifer Espen Shades, and Jay Bliss. Boom. That's your Friday night. Oh, yeah, and there's something going on in the Parks Casino with Gemini the ventriloquist. Strange. But I don't know anything else about it, so I have nothing else to share. Moving on to Saturday and my giant disappointment. I had it all planned. I put down the money. I was vested in seeing comedian talk show host Craig Ferguson with my betrothed. We were going to go see Craigie, and I was so excited for this opportunity. But I found out today, in ways I shouldn't have found out, that apparently a couple of weeks ago, this show has been postponed for several months due to circumstances beyond the control. I get that things happen. I understand. What I don't understand is why the Appel Center couldn't send me an email when this happened to let me know. Because when they didn't send me an email, I had to ask my wife to change her plans because, I asked my wife to change her plans, and I have nothing to show for it now. Because we were supposed to go out on a date tomorrow. Now, I got to come up with something. You got any ideas? Shoot them to me. Comedy-wise, we don't really have a lot of options as far as I know. Comedians, if you got something going on and you want me to promote it and you're in my schedule of things to do, I absolutely will. But no one did, and I don't know of anything else going on except at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone, located at 110 Lime Kiln Road inside the Boomerang Hotel Sports Casino and miniature golf complex. Usually the add-ons are things that don't exist, just so you know. There is no miniature golf course there. Or maybe there is, and I just haven't found it yet because there's so much there. Harrisburg Comedy Zone, doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8. Again, our friend Lennon Free is going to warm up all your laughing muscles. Jennifer Espen Shades, she's going to keep you giggling. And Jay Bliss is going to bring it home for about 90 minutes of quality comedy. Tickets $20 at the door or 1 pint of blood. Not even. A half pint of blood. Because you're getting 2 tickets. 1 pint, 2 tickets. It's a great deal. It's like the junkie rate for plasma. You can't beat it. It's a good deal. And that is all I have for Saturday. But wait. Go to the casino. I did, my friend. And what a time did I have. I had such a good time. I'm putting my pinky up, even though this glass is too heavy for me to not support it with all 4 of my fingers. Because I had a great time. If you know anything about the casino, I can tell you this. The epitaph on my grave will be, it's only fun when you're winning. And that is a true statement. When you are winning at the casino, it is a blast. It is fantastic. It is awesome and amazing. When you are getting your tuchus handed to you every 10 seconds, it is not fun. But you stay there until it becomes fun. Or you leave. And I find myself leaving a lot, but at the same time, sometimes it's really fun. And this last weekend, this Thanksgiving weekend was really fun. All right, let's move into Sunday. Sunday, 10:30 every Sunday morning on the TikToks, on the Book of Faces, on the Talk of Ticks. It's the supplemental. Woo, silky smooth. That was a good one. Every Sunday morning at 10:30, we do the supplemental live on Facebook and TikTok. We do three things. We do your national days of the week. We do a comedy, a community, a charity event that we want you to know about, also known as the Come Come Char. And we wrap it all up with This Week in History trivia style. 7 questions, multiple choice, set to moderate or medium difficulty. It's a fun way to start your Sunday. And we do that every Sunday live at 10:30. But if you miss an episode, we later post it and you can watch the full supplemental. You can watch the national days of the week. You can watch individual days of the week. You can watch the Come Come Char. And of course, you can just watch This Week in History trivia stuff. You got options. And we take the WARNO and we put that on there too. Oh, my friend Joshua Gooch is watching. I love you, brother. You look like you're enjoying retired life. And that makes me happy. So we gave you your Friday night. We gave you your Saturday night. We told you a little bit about Sunday morning, but we didn't tell you about all of Sunday because as you can see, it's a Ferrari weekend. But sadly, it's not. Ferrari will participate in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix this weekend. But whether they win or don't win, nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me. Because, now hold on. If you don't watch Formula One, you're missing out on a really, really exciting kind of thing. And next year, Cadillac is going to be my new bitch. We're ditching the red and we're going to the black. Cadillac is in Formula One and we're going to be supporting them. Well, I am. That's what I do. And let's talk about the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The unfortunate thing about all the rule changes in the last couple of years, it made Formula One kind of boring. About 4 races ago, we already identified who the race champion would be and who the team champion would be. And then they're just racing the last races for S&Gs, right? No big deal. But not this year. Through a series of unfortunate events, the top 3 I got to do it this way because I'm so fat and old and ugly. I can't do 3 this way anymore. The top 3 drivers in the world all have the potential of being the number 1 driver in the world. If the person in 3rd place comes in 1st place and the person in 1st place comes in 4th or below, the person in 3rd place becomes the champion. There's a whole bunch of crazy math here. But what I'm telling you is there's 3 of the most excellent drivers in the world in race cars that perform beyond comprehension in their abilities to accelerate and decelerate and take curves at 180 miles an hour. It's a fantastic sport. Will it be Max Verstappen? Will he win his 5th championship? It's possible. Lando Norris, could he win his 1st? Could Oscar Piastri win his 1st? Nobody knows. We're all taking a guess. We're all watching Abu Dhabi this weekend. So 10:30, break off a little time in your life to come watch the supplemental. Play with us, enjoy with us, have a good time with us. It's a great way to start your Sunday. And then throughout the course of the day, there's qualifying and there's all the other things that happen with the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Take that in. It was one race that hooked me on Formula One. It was the Imola Grand Prix 1994, maybe 5. It was the race with Ayrton Senna died live on TV. I have been a Formula One fan ever since that race. Maybe Abu Dhabi will make you a Formula One fan. And then we could talk about cool shirts. Or I could sell you all my Ferrari gear because I'm done with Ferrari. I'm not really done with Ferrari. Ferrari's going to be my side bitch. I am all in on Cadillac because I'm an American and I drive a Cadillac. And I've never been able to drive a car that's in a Formula One race. So I'm going to keep driving Cadillacs, and I'm going to root for the Cadillac Formula One racing team with Sergio Perez and Sebastian Vettel. I wish it was Sebastian Vettel, but I'll take Valtteri Bottas. These are our drivers for the 2026 season. I'm excited to see it. Ladies, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, there's a show on Netflix called Drive to Survive. Watch season 1. Check in with me later. Because my wife hated all the things I loved. And then I died a year ago. Well, I was, I didn't die. Technically, they put me down like a rabid dog. They just said, doo, 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 doo. Beep. They stopped my heart and prepared to die. There's a song lyric in my head right there. Anyway, they stopped my heart, and my heart stopped for a couple of hours. They had a way around it to keep me kind of sort of alive. But the ticking of the heart, I think we all agree, is kind of like being alive. So they put me down a year ago like a rabid dog, and then later they brought me back to life. And I am technically a zombie. Zombie, 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 eh. In my head. But I don't eat brains. That was fun. No idea where I was going with that. A year ago, they put me down like a rabid dog, I was saying. And then, I don't know. What is that, Mothman again? Hold on. That is, Mothman, a double IPA, 9.1% APV. Again, I've given you a Friday, I've given you Saturday, I've given you Sunday, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, great thing. Have no idea where I was going with the I died a year ago, but I'm back. Caught you looking for the same thing. It's a new thing. Check out this I bring. Zeus is not happy. I still have some beer to drink. Let's talk about Tuesdays and Thursdays. Again, these are free opportunities to see live comedy as it's being created in the early stages. And it's the best time to watch comedy. Yes, the guys on top who've perfected their act are funny and hilarious, and you give them a whole bunch of money and you watch the same jokes over and over, or a different version of the same joke over and over. You do those things for the top performers. But down here, there's a bunch of free comedy or cheap comedy for people who are trying to get there. And these guys and gals are very funny in their own right. And they'll make you laugh in different ways. On Tuesday night, we have this thing called the Local Mic at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone, conveniently located at 110 Lime Kiln Road. At the Local Mic, that's my name for it. They've got a different name for it. We have local comedians, more seasoned local comedians, getting up on stage, doing longer sets, practicing their craft, getting better and getting better. On Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, also for free, we have the open mic, where we can have as many as 40 comedians doing time on stage. And when you have that many comedians, somebody, by the rules of averages, someone's going to make you laugh. You're going to get a kick out of somebody. And there's been a couple of, just last night alone, there was just a couple of jokes that really stood out with me that I really thought were funny from really funny and talented people. So check us out Tuesdays and Thursday nights. The shows start around 8 o'clock. If you're interested in doing stand-up comedy, you can come Tuesday, you can come Thursday, whenever you want. All you got to do is come in early and sign up. There's your Friday, there's your Saturday, there's your Sunday, there's your Tuesday, there's your Thursday. Boom. I can tell you, Tibbs Eve 2025, we will be doing another live episode of the Lunsby Show with T-Bone and Chick Road. Now, if you don't know what Tibbs Eve is, you could look it up. But from my time in Newfoundland, I sure did enjoy the spirits. And Tibbs Eve, later, what is it when people steal other people's things? Appropriated? Later appropriated by the Seinfeld Jews. So Tibbs Eve falls on the eve of Christmas. And it was the day to get together with all your newfie friends before you had to get together with all your family and friends. Tibbs Eve was like Christmas for the boys. And then there was Christmas Eve, and then there was Christmas Day. A Seinfeld episode about Festivus took the 23rd, and now everybody celebrates Festivus on the 23rd of December. But I still celebrate Tibbs Eve to celebrate my newfie time and my newfie daughter. I got a little noof daughter, okay? So she gets a little props on Tibbs Eve. That's what she gets. So we're going to do that live. And with that, all right, last year we didn't do a live episode of Tibbs Eve because they killed me. Remember? They put me down like a rabid dog. And they brought me back and I was in the intensive care unit. Blah, 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 blah. Happy to be here. So we didn't do a Tibbs Eve special last year. I had no voice. I couldn't even speak. It was bad. It's bad for me not to be able to speak. The previous year, I couldn't get any of this to work. It was bad. I had a conniption. I had a total meltdown, and I stormed off stage, my stage, wearing a stupid Prince hoodie. My partner got me. It was so funny, but I was so angry and so mad, and it was bad. This year, I hope to do better. So we'll put out more information as we get closer and closer to the 23rd of December. But 23 December, live Tibbs Eve special of the Lunsby Show. And that's all I got for you. I'm going to wrap it up here. And then I am going to go and see my friends Mike O'Donnell, Sean Dickensheets, Caitlin Austin, and Craig Paul at the Revolutionary Hot Sauce Eatery and Brew Pub located at 30 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg. That's happening tonight. But we got a lot of this left. I got to drive there. Not that one beer is too many. It's just that I had a lot left. Hello, Lauren. Good to see you as always. The game is Ship's Captain Crew. The rules are very simple. You get a 6, you get a 5, you get a 4. In that order, you have 2 dice left. Whatever the dice are, the remaining is your point. The other person has to beat your point. Me against the audience, you guys owe me like $7 now. Here's a chance to win one of them back. You ready? Why is my head cut off? I just noticed that. You go first without me looking. I went the wrong way. You go first. You got a 6. You need a 5, a 4, and the 2 dice remain. You got a 5 and a 4. You got a 6. Who's live with us on TikTok? Mother, is that you? Are you out there? You get to decide. Is a 6 good enough, or do you want to go for more? Tell me quickly, or I'll make the decision for you. Anybody that's watching on TikTok, even if it's not Mother, do you keep the 6 or go for more? Go for more. I have to revert to the TikTok people because their responses are much faster than the Facebook people. You went for more and you got a 7. That was not a bad gamble. I must beat a 7. Here we go. 6 and a 5. 6 and a 5, and the remaining dice is 6. I was close, but I didn't have a 4. I need a 4, and I need to beat a 7. I did not get a 4. Final roll. Here we go. Hey, Lauren. I did not get a 4, which means you only owe me $6. So you ever see me out in the wild, you owe me $6. Just don't talk to me until you give me my money. You understand? Or you say, I'll see you next week and we'll play again. And it just goes back and forth. It's not real money. It's fun money. We're having a good time. Check in the comments real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. Here we go. Paul says 100%. I lost big time in Vegas. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Let's go Logan Sargent. What? That is a crazy driver to push. Sorry, late to the show, says our friend JT. I'm sorry you're also late. You missed a lot of good stuff tonight. But, early next week, all of this will be available for viewing later. And, of course, our friend Lauren says, hi, Tony. Oh, it's so sweet. She's so awesome. Let's wrap this up for this week. And thanks for joining me, as always. Ladies and gentlemen, I remind you today, as I remind you every day, just be the best person that you can be. And if you were a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Brew sends her love. Cheers along with me as we wrap this up. Arriba, y abajo, y centro, y para dentro. Buona fin settimana.